everybody, AmberFrmThVault here. Welcome back to some more Suzerain. We're going to go ahead and just jump right back into it, so I'll see you guys back in just a sec. Alright, the only problem I see with making this game right now is that, man, there is so much reading, and a lot of it's reading out loud. So I'll be honest, my voice probably is starting to sound hoarse. Ever since I had the run-ins with COVID, gosh, I can't talk like I used to. I used to be able to go on forever and ever and ever, and now I lose my voice so much faster than I used to, and it's just so weird to me. I guess it has something to do with the asthma and the whole COVID's impact on your system, but it feels so weird. Like, I used to be able to read for hours. Alright, out loud, I mean. I can still read. It makes me think of... I always think of Wayne's World anytime somebody says something about being able to read. And I never learned to read. Alright, so Petter Vectern arrived a couple minutes early, sat across from me, was struggling to hold back his smile. Okay, hey Petter. We did it, Anton. We won! Finally, all those years with our noses to the grindstone paid off. His eyes sparkled. The strain of the past months had put a damper on his usual rakish charm. Rakish charm. Yeah, duh, Amber. But today he was looking and acting more like his old self. He loosened his tie and undid the top two buttons of his shirt. Whoa, Petter! We're both married. Enjoying the new secretary I picked out for you? Thought you'd appreciate her gorgeous set of talents. It's a shame the rest of your staff aren't as easy on their eyes. Let's kick Petter. I hate him now. He gestured to the slight paunch that protruded over his waistband. But hey, back in university, did you ever imagine we would be sitting here in the Maroon Palace? We have to celebrate the great victory. Let's celebrate that. I got my hands on something special. We will celebrate at the inaugural ball. This is not time to celebrate, Petter. We have work to do. Let's do the inaugural ball. Okay. Petter, looking forward to it. Evelyn hopes to congratulate you in person there. Good to know. It's been some time since I last saw her. I'm sure the kids would love to see their Uncle Petter for the first time as the vice president. We'll see each other at the ball then. Let's do the kids. I like the idea of children. That is great to hear. It's crazy how fast the two have grown up. You are a good father. Oh. Petter had a wistful look in his eyes. He and Evelyn had never been able to have kids of their own. During our campaign, the opposition had floated the rumor that he'd fathered illegitimate children during his wilder years, but it had never been substantiated. The door swung open and Lucien Gallade. Lucien? Weirded me out, dude. My chief strategist walked in. He didn't even knock. Was a compact man with a sharp bird-like features. After briefly surveying the room from wall to wall, he sat down, poured a glass of water, and opened his briefcase in a series of quick, graceful movements. Maybe he's supposed to be here. Gentlemen. The tall case clock in the room struck 3 o'clock. Ooh, that would scare me. Damn, you're exactly on time. Yeah, so he was meant to be here. Okay. Hello, Petter. Lucien then turned towards me. He very slightly bowed his head. Lucien, how are you? I'm ready and able, sir. Damn it. Don't be so formal, dude. Lucien spoke in soft clipped tones that immediately drew your attention towards what he had to say. Petter and I waited for him to proceed. We will start the meeting by evaluating the current situation. The majority of the Swordish people demand change. They are more concerned about the economy than the Constitution, but they blame the system for their problems. Petter, people are losing their trust in our democracy. This frustration even causes some to reason with figures like Bernard Circas. It is expected that we bring change the last government did not. Who's Bernard? Okay. Swordish poet, novelist, short story writer, and politician. He is acclaimed for his lyrical flow in regard to being the lead. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Early writings. Cool. Red Youth, Sordland Civil War. Okay. Return to Sordland. Okay. Cool. Okay. Franz Richter, leader of the Reformists, believes that true change can only be done by transferring some of our powers to the Assembly. I will move into the details of their demands shortly. Okay, who's Franz Richter? Just a basic, attractive man. Okay. Businessman, leader of the People's Freedom and Justice Party. He is also the major shareholder of the construction company Taurus Holding. Whoa, 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 whoa. People's Freedom? And yet you own a construction company? You're a major shareholder? Yeah, You're one of the people. Sure, dude. Let's see. Studied economics. Yeah, I don't know. Worked for the Watchtower of Human Rights. Okay. He's a notable human rights advocate. I don't know. Tell me how you treat your employees. I don't trust that. Okay. Friends, keeps his stance against the government. Puppet of the deep state. God, anytime someone says deep state now, America has poisoned me. Alright. I agree with the reformists. Our responsibility is to democratize our broken system. We need to listen to the people if we want to serve this country. If we lose power as the government, we won't be able to execute necessary changes, for the good of our country. I don't see why it would be a bad idea to democratize our systems. Unless... I don't know who the assembly is or how the assembly is necessarily chosen. Because I was appointed to the assembly before, and that wasn't very cool. We need to listen to the people if we want to serve the country. Petter, that's exactly what we campaign for. A true change for the country to move forward. Lucian, we will need many allies against the old guards in the government. Mr. Richter managed to influence many members of the Assembly to give their support for drafting a new constitution. Reformist politicians are quickly increasing in number. While the reformist wing inside our party is still a minority, they could have a tripartisan majority in the Assembly, especially if you unite them under Franz Richter. Okay, so reformists aren't wrong to agree that we need to change. Richter could be an ally in our goal to maintain majority. Our party must fall in line with our position in the near future. We can't have a strong divide. I don't necessarily believe that. I think that having a divide, yes, may break us off into 3 parties, but I think multiple parties moves us forward. I'm gonna say Mr. Richter. Okay, the problem is I'm missing something here. So let's go to the Codex. Because I have a problem here. What really is the assembly? Like, are they chosen? Are they voted? Let's see. Usually for assembly. Okay. Parliament was fundamental in the efforts of President is currently led by Speaker. But it doesn't say. It doesn't say if they are Gloria Tory, Swedish politician. I don't like her. Sorry, I know I shouldn't just judge based on the way someone looks, but that hair is too nice and them pearls are too shiny if we have that much of a unemployment rate. Okay. So she was elected speaker for the second time. So she was elected speaker. I'm sure they explained this to me and I completely missed it. Before her election to assembly. Okay, but how then did we get installed in the assembly? Obviously there's some fuckery. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with transferring some things. I do think that having a strong parliament or Congress or something like that is important. In fact, I kind of feel like presidents shouldn't even exist, but I guess that's what we're going with. Mr. Richter could be a potential ally in our goal to maintain a majority in the assembly. Lucian, he's definitely key in this. Petter, reformist demands are clear. They want to limit the president's veto powers, ensure that the Supreme Court is independent, and take away their right to vote on constitutional amendments. What is our Supreme Court? Is it kind of the same as the U.S.? Let's see. Can review and enact before and after review. Okay. Loose allies of reform supporters are backed by the largest opposition. Unfortunately, from the unfair campaign finance system limits their chances of coming to power. The more liberal faction in the United Sordland Party has also grown because of this. Yeah. I mean, that sounds right to me. I don't understand why we shouldn't have limits on president veto powers. Supreme Court should be independent, and I'm not sure about the right to vote on constitutional amendments. I'm going to say proper balance. Power balance. I believe that's correct. I support the reformists. Petter, I agree it's better not to go against the wind of change that is raging around the country at this moment. Lucien, the old guards will do their best to preserve the Constitution. Chief Justice Hawker and his allied... Whoa. Hawker. You are scary looking. That man is... What is the word? He is, God. They use it all the time on, like, certain women. Usually it's applied to women, and I hate it. But that man just says everything about it. God, what is that word? I can't remember, but he looks like he would give you a whooping. I don't like him. And his allied judges have great influence over the Supreme Court, which would be tough to break. Petter, pack the court! The court also has an abrupt power over constitutional legislation. Without their approval, we cannot change it. Oh, okay. So now that I know that, then absolutely they shouldn't have a vote. We need a comprehensive bill to balance the power structure more fairly. We must break the power of the Supreme Court one way or another. I'd rather not go against them, poses high risks. I say we must break them. If they're able to pretty much say no to whatever we try to do, even if it's the will of the people, then fuck them. All right, Lucien, I agree. They have too much power over Swordish politics. Petter, we need to take away their vote in constitutional legislation. It's absurd that an elected branch gets to vote for bills. Let's see. Unelected branch, excuse me. And I agree with that, absolutely. Looks like we have many challenges ahead. We cannot allow obstructionists to exist. We can't underestimate the situation. I'm going to say underestimate. Okay. Petter, we will figure it out. Our party still holds 130 of the 250 seats in the assembly. That is power. Not that much, though, dude. I mean, that's not a very good balance. Lucien, however, to reform the Constitution, we must receive a 2/3 majority in the Grand National Assembly, which is 166, and a simple majority in the Supreme Court. That equates to 6 votes. Lucien, after we have settled our thoughts on how to proceed, we will want to talk with our party figures. Our first goal must be to get 150 signatures needed to start the process. Following the green light from the USP, we will reach out to the other party leaders to see if they would back our draft. And then the last step is to convince the justices of the court. The entire process will take a long time, but we must start working with the Reform Committee to evaluate all possibilities for a new constitution as soon as possible. All right, so we will write a more democratic constitution with the reformists. The new constitution should give the president wide-ranging powers to lead Sordland. We could work with the old guard. No, number one, we need a more democratic one. That's what we've been preparing for internally, Petter says. People elected us because of our promise for democratic reforms. Lucien, the key thing here will be strengthening the power of the assembly, which we already lead with a majority. Petter nodded in agreement. Yes, the divisions of power need to be rebalanced for a better Sordland. Lucien, according to the initial draft we made with reformists, there are 2 changes to the Constitution that are not open for their discussion. Lucien opened his dossier. First, the Supreme Court will no longer vote on constitutional amendments. Agreed. Second, the president's absolute veto will be taken away. This can be replaced with a limited veto system by fixing the current loopholes. I have no problem. Let's go with it. Okay. Yes, sir. Lucien nodded. We will form a reform committee together with all parties and start reaching out to all of the stakeholders in the assembly and the court for a new constitution. Petter, more information about the request of each party's and reform contents will be available later this year. Lucien took notes. Another important point, we must be aware of the Lothburg Group. The oligarchs convene under this organization to influence economic policies. Conrath led it for a long time. Got it. Okay, spokesman is Walter Tusk, grandson of Noel Tusk. Tusk! All you think of is Fleetwood Mac now. So who's Walter Tusk? Oh! Whoa! Walter Tusk, you are 8th richest sword. I believe that. Dude, Could you give off any more I live off of granddaddy's money vibes? Okay. According to the report, some members of the National Business Council are in their pockets. The group under the leadership of Walter Tusk will surely try to bribe us for their special economic interests. Cool. Open to talk with business people. I won't be bought. It won't happen. I will enter a dialogue with them eventually. We need to be diplomatic. We won't let these privileged, greedy, and snobby capitalists run the country. That's my answer. Yeah. Fuck Walter Tusk. Lucien, let's not underestimate their influence. These are not harmless people either. Lucien looked at Petter. As far as I know, Marcel Coro... Whoa, he's creepy looking. Coranti has some strong ties to this group, and we may try using his influence if we deem it necessary. He will want something from us. I don't like you either. Your father was apparently a big dude. Huh. 5 children who said to have been raised without excess wealth and privilege? Yeah, sure. Okay. I guess we'll see. Whew. I'm aware of Mr. Conti's wide network. That would come in handy. They are an important force, one that we should use, to our administration's advantage. That group is dependent on our economic policies. They can't move a finger without us. Tusk is heading the group. We should make sure he is on our side. I could give a fuck less about Tusk. They are dependent on economic policies, but they can use their money to buy off assembly members. They are an important force, oh gosh. I don't know. I don't like the idea that we would have to rely on some guy who, like, I don't know, who's in the broadcasting. I guess we could. Petter. We just need to be careful with him. He looks like the lesser evil, but it can quickly turn around to be the other way. Yeah, I think that Steve Buscemi looking fuck is definitely going to be a problem, but he doesn't have, like, the loving part of Steve Buscemi. He just has all the evil part of the way Steve Buscemi looks anytime he plays a crazy person. I'm thinking of Con Air. It is one of my favorite movies. Alright, we need to tread carefully on all sides with all power players to survive our term. I need to underline the seriousness of this situation. Thanks, Lucien. The military and the general staff is a powerful element in the state, and as history tells us, a dangerous one too. Ooh, there is some wiggle room to make structural changes like reducing their budget, but it is limited. Okay, I want to receive the advice of the military before making up my mind. I don't want to die in prison. Oh my gosh, what? With the Rumberg threat on the horizon, we can't reduce our defense capability and anger our general staff. The military has been nothing but a burden on our society. Drastic change, like a reduction of funds, is needed. Oh man! Okay, game. Did you write this specifically to test me? Okay. Oh my gosh. I mean, yes, we need to refund the military in a new way. Definitely need to slash budgets. That's, again, I can only base this on American politics because that's what I know so well. I mean, I've lived here my whole life, but I wouldn't say they're necessarily a burden. I don't want to say the military is a burden, because I'm assuming it's the same as here. It does allow a lot of people to escape poverty, which is very, very important. Just like the Border Patrol, as much as we hate the Border Patrol in some places or, you know, some groups, it does help people escape poverty, which is part of the problem. So I don't necessarily want to say that they're a burden. So I don't necessarily like the words that are used. But I do think that the military is probably going to tell us they need more money. God, this is hard. This is hard because my brain wants to answer one way, but I have no idea how this game was built. For all I know, they could be like expecting me to do all of the opposite things. I guess I could listen to him, I guess. It is sound to listen to them, but they have very biased answers and narrow opinions. Patriotism shrouds their minds. General Kruger is a specter of the past. Ooh, General Kruger, I don't like you. You scare me. All right. A fact that obviously can change with our actions. Either way, I see a potential rift between the two since they are clearly of different minds. I do too. If we act strongly against the military, the two will unite against us. I agree with Lucien. We need to tread carefully with the military. Lucien looked at his watch. Well then, gentlemen, precisely 30 minutes. This concludes our political briefing for today. Our next meeting will be about media strategy. Talk to you soon. I will keep in touch. Better see you in the next meeting, Lucien. Anton. All right, they bid their farewells and left. Hot damn. Okay. What do we got? Committee for Reforms. Okay. What do we got here? Support and assembly girls for campaign finance. Well, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of things I could say about campaign finance. Geopolitical Rumberg coming south. Our foreign policy analysts who are reviewing the recent aggressive military and diplomatic developments of Rumberg have come to the conclusion that it is highly likely that they will try to push further south, threatening the territories of Sordland, Whelan, and possibly Agnolia. So one thing to think about is if these dicks are going to come down, that might be a good reason to have a strong connection to some foreign partners, like either the East or the West, because then we at least would have military backup. Gosh, so many decisions. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching me play Suzerain. If you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to all the YouTube things. If you'd like to check out more of my videos, there should be 2 on the screen there over on the right side. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, go ahead and click on that picture of my big dumb face on the left. Click that, click on the bell icon if you'd like to be notified every time I post a brand new video. And those people right there in the middle, those are my patrons over on Patreon. Those are the people who really make this channel what it is, and I would appreciate if you guys would drop them a follow over on Twitter. Those are all their Twitter handles, or maybe if you would just say thank you to them, because that's the only reason I can really have this channel is because of these fantastic people. So thank you so much to that. If you're interested in learning more about the Patreon yourself and getting your own exclusive content, like my entire playthrough of Skyrim, you can go ahead and check that out. It is in the lower left-hand corner in that box. We're going to go ahead and get out of here, guys, but I will see you in the next one.